Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of GyalDem City, hosted by myself, Yannicka, and the lovely Rose. Today we're just going to do a quick recap of the Villa game, our upcoming fixtures, which is Cheltenham and West Brom away. So we'll discuss them too, and we'll discuss things that are going on in the club in terms of injuries and COVID. So, Rose, how do you think the Villa game went? Were you happy with it?
Yeah, obviously the result. Overall, I thought City played, well. But that match was just end-to-end, action-packed, and for a neutral, it must have been a really good match. But as a City fan, my anxiety levels were just through the roof. Because I knew that we needed to win this match, especially with Leicester beating Chelsea the day before, and then United having them straight after us. Like, it was literally a must-win, and Villa were not making it easy for us at all. From the offset, we were creating so many chances, especially down the left-hand side by Phil Foden. He was creating a lot of chances for us, but it just seemed like every single chance that we were having was just getting, blocked by a Villa defender, or, Martinez was saving it. And then whenever we gave the ball away, Villa were going down the other end and trying to score themselves. And I just felt like, Barkley, Traore in particular, and then obviously Grealish as well, were just causing us so many problems. But luckily, our defence was good in, preventing them from scoring. But the second half was just like more of the same as well. We were just creating a lot of chances, but Villa were just doing really well defensively. I think Gundogan had a really, really good chance as well in like the 69th minute. And I was just thinking, whoa, like, how has he not scored that? And it was a situation where I was just thinking, like, are we not going to get a goal in this match? Like, I was just thinking, should we just maybe go for a draw, like settle for a draw? Because as much as we need this match, we can't afford to lose this match. But with City, the great thing is we keep going, we fight until the very end. And, Bernardo created that chance for himself and just finished it off brilliantly. And, just that relief that we all just felt when he scored that goal was just crazy. And then towards the end, I think we got a penalty as well, and Gundogan sealed it for us. And it was a good, overall it was a good performance, because I felt like City did really well in like containing Villa. I look back at that match and I just think last season we wouldn't have won that match.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have won. So I'm just really happy with like our growth and our improvement defensively, and I'm really happy with like the direction that we're going into. Yeah, what did you think?
Well, that's one of the great things about City this season. Like, we can actually win 1-0. Like, I know we won 2-0, but it's kind of because we got a penalty. I don't think we would have scored again in that game. There was some chances, like there was one where I don't even know who it was, but it's almost like they defended it instead of scoring. Like, we've done that a few times this season, where it's an easy tap in and you miss that, and then the goal that Bernardo scores is a fantastic goal. It's a bit City are a little bit strange this season.
Yeah.
Everything in it pretty much. But yeah, as a City,
I think you're cutting out a bit, Yannicka.
my internet's a bit bad at the moment.
Yeah. You're cutting out.
Yeah, let me know if I cut out, because I can't tell on here until after. But yeah, I think it was obviously a good game for the neutral, had everything in it. I think City, we played well, but Villa also played really well. It's one of them games that if we drew it, I wouldn't have felt that we really deserved to win. But I think obviously we just needed to. And I think earlier in the season, I said that I didn't see signs of us seeing it. Like, since that Chelsea game, I've just seen signs that these players, they don't give up. They're trying to win, even if it's late on. Obviously, when De Bruyne went off, I thought they could win this. Villa could win this. And, they didn't. So City have improved in that way. And like you say, last season, we wouldn't have won that game. So it's nice to see that kind of improvement. Hopefully, we can maintain it. We'll move on now to De Bruyne, because obviously he got injured in that game. Originally, they were saying he'd be out for about a month. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the road to 2K. If you're on Twitter, jump over to YouTube, like the video, and then you can go back and share across your socials. But yeah, Rose, so De Bruyne got injured. Originally, they were saying about a month. Now they're saying 4 to 6. So he could be out for quite a while. We've got a lot of games in there, including Liverpool, maybe United, Spurs. Our first leg against Mönchengladbach. There's quite a lot of big games in there. How do you think we'll...
Did you say, how do I think we'll cope? Because you cut out a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's quite upsetting that De Bruyne is out for, I think, up to 6 weeks, mainly because he's like our best player. And obviously, we have so many fixtures coming up. So it would be great to have him, you know, for these upcoming matches. But what I do like about City is, even though we do have a lot of individual players who are great, we don't play individually, we play as a team. So even when one player is missing or a few players are missing, I feel like it doesn't really affect our team's performances. I feel like we still play well. And on top of that, like, I'm even thinking about Bernardo Silva's 2018 to 2019 season, where he just stepped up in that central midfield role. So I feel like, you know, even if Bernardo Silva can just recreate 75% of that season in that role, I think we'll be fine, honestly. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the only concern that I have is in that season, Raheem Sterling was firing, Aguero was there. So I think we'll struggle a little bit. Just that we've got coming up, we should be winning that with or without De Bruyne. So sorry, I keep freezing. But yeah, I think we should be winning it without him. So we'll see what happens. I think our players are good enough. It is time for like Raheem to step up this season. He's not really been at his best, so it'll be time for him to kind of show that he can do it. I think someone said that Bernardo plays a little bit better without De Bruyne, just because he has more time on the ball, you know, because normally our midfield are looking for De Bruyne, whereas if De Bruyne's not there, we'll look for Bernardo. So he gets...
You cut out.
Sorry. Yeah, I think because of that, his... Sorry.
Okay.
I'm hoping to see that 18-19 Bernardo, and then we'll see what happens. I don't think this season's going to go plain sailing for any team. I think people are going to drop points. So as long as we don't drop too many and we're still in the title race, hopefully when he comes back, we can push on and hopefully go for the title. Sorry. I'd say has been but De Bruyne, even when he's not at his best, still creates a ridiculous amount of chances. So we are going to miss that. But yeah, I hope we can just go through. Next, we'll move on to our next game, which is Cheltenham away. Obviously, it's not a Premier League side. But who do you think Pep will play? Are you going to play the kids' academy players?
Yeah, I think he's going to go with a mixture of both academy and, you know, some first team players. Yeah. I think obviously with the injuries to De Bruyne in particular, I think is Kyle Walker injured as well? I know he went off. I think so. With injuries to Kyle Walker, De Bruyne, and then obviously Aguero still being out with COVID, he can't afford. I think he has to rest certain players. He has to rest Diaz. I think he's going to have to rest Cancelo as well. I would expect him to rest Gundogan as well in that match. So I don't know who he's going to play, but I do think it's going to be a mixture of senior and academy players. What do you think? You've cut out again. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. Oh my God, Yannicka.
Sorry, my internet is moving mad at the moment. Sorry, my internet is crazy. But yeah, I think he will play Delap, I would expect. Obviously with that, I think he kind of can't afford Gabby to get injured right now. So I think he will play him. So we'll see. I think yeah, I agree. I think it'll be a mixture. He won't go too weak because Pep obviously respects every team that we play. So there will be first team players in there. But yeah, I think he'll rest most of the big time players. So yeah, I think that's what he'll do. What do you think the score will be? Obviously, it's a bit of a hard one because we haven't played Cheltenham. But yeah, what do you reckon the score will be?
Yeah, I don't really know too much. I know that they're in League Two and they're actually, they're not doing too bad in their league. So I don't expect it to be like a plain sailing match. I expect them to give a game. And obviously with us making changes as well, I don't know. I think it might be like a 2-0 City win. I think.
Yeah, I think it's hard to know until we know the lineup, because obviously if he plays quite a strong defence, which knowing Pep he might do, you might even see Diaz. Then I think obviously we won't concede, but obviously if it's a younger, if it's Taylor at the back and maybe Garcia or something, then I can see maybe us concede. But yeah, I think hopefully it's a City win. Probably about a 3-0. I don't think they'll go and score 5 or 6. I can't see that. But yeah, I think maybe a 3-0. That's sort of scoreline. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think it will be for Cheltenham. We'll move on next to our next Premier League fixture, which is West Brom away. Obviously, we drew in the home leg. So how do you think it's going to go? Like, who do you think he's going to play?
I think he will start without a striker again against West Brom, because he's going to see West Brom as quite a tough opponent, because we didn't beat them in the home leg. So I think he'll probably go the same lineup. So Ruben Diaz, Stones, Cancelo, and then Zinchenko, and obviously Edison. I'm thinking he'll go with Bernardo Silva, Gundogan and Rodri in the midfield, and he might play Foden on the left again, because I thought Foden played really well on the left against Villa. Then probably Sterling up front, and then maybe Mahrez on the right. Maybe I'm not too sure. But yeah, I think he's going to look at this as like a tough match. It is. Because like they're going to set up quite defensively against us, and what I've noticed about West Brom is they just need one opportunity. Like, they need one good opportunity. I think they had like one good opportunity against Liverpool, and they literally just took their chances and they scored that. So I feel like we have to be really good with crosses and corners against them, because that's literally the way that they're going to be looking to score. But I don't know. I feel like recently, like, I'm seeing so much improvement in our defence. So if we can obviously prevent them from scoring from a corner crossing into the box, I expect us to, still win that match. Yeah, what do you think?
Well, I think the last time round we were struggling to kind of score goals, so we weren't really conceding, but we were struggling to score. So I'd like to think we'll keep a clean sheet, and then it's just putting the ball in the net on the other ends of the pitch. So it depends. I think obviously our players look like they're coming a little bit more into form. They're shooting from further out than they might have tried to earlier in the season, like that Bernardo goal, things like that. So I think we should beat them, even though it's away, so it's a tougher fixture than the first one. And I think because we didn't beat them the first time, I think we should be beating them really the second time round. But yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. It's not. This season's a bit of a strange one, because normally you'd look at the teams at the bottom and think, oh, that's 3 points. But the way this season's going, Fulham are taking a lot of points off people, or frustrating them at least, That Man United game the other day with them was quite end to end, and it could have gone another way if not for that Pogba goal. So I think these teams are quite frustrating this season, more so than usual, and I think it's never guaranteed, but I would like to think that we can beat them, especially with the run that we have. We kind of need to be getting maximum points. So yeah, I'd like to think we can. What do you predict the score will be?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 City win. I think West Brom will score at home. I know we're playing so well, but I do worry sometimes, obviously, with corners, because we're quite a small team. So yeah, and I think that they're going to be looking to just get a goal from there. So yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think the same. I don't think we'll score more than 2. I think they will score, even though Ruben Diaz. I don't know if you heard his comments. He's funny. He's saying that. For anyone that doesn't know, he's basically said that he's not happy just having a clean sheet. He doesn't want the opposition team to have a shot. So he's like from next level. That's why he was on the floor before they made the cross the other day. He is insane. Like, I don't even know. But yeah, he's not going to be wanting to concede any goals, which is great. He actually says, like, I'm a defender first, which is we've not had for a while, because a lot of these footballers nowadays, they might be a defender on paper, but they want to play football. Even Edison wants to play football, but Diaz is like, I am a defender and I want to defend. And it's crazy. Like, I could have never predicted the impact that he was going to have. Like, it's just unreal. But yeah, I think hopefully we keep another clean sheet, because we haven't conceded too many. Most of our goals were conceded in that Leicester game before Diaz even came. So it'd be nice if we don't concede, but I think we do need to be a little bit more clinical going forward. I think we're still struggling a bit. That Villa game could have gone either way, because it was very open. And I think 2 seasons ago, City would have finished that game off in the first half, whereas we just didn't do that, because we do create chances. Cancelo he's such a good player, but some of his shots, it's like, if that went in, they'd be like some of the best goals. So, if he starts like actually getting them shots in, like, we'll be on some next level. So yeah, I think we should win. I don't think it's going to be a big win. I think it'll be narrow. And yeah, hopefully we can just keep where we are in the league, or possibly go top. But we need to just stay there and thereabouts until we can kind of get Aguero back, till we can get De Bruyne back. I think with COVID, once you've had it, obviously has to test negative. But he also, I think it's 10 days now after you've had symptoms. So hopefully, because he's tested positive now, he can come back within 2 weeks. So hopefully after sort of West Brom, and maybe the next game or two, hopefully Aguero can come back, and that even without De Bruyne will give us a boost. So let's hope for that. We'll just talk about obviously the title race now, because where we are in the league is kind of I'd say we're in a good position right now. It's obviously going to be a close season. I can't see any team being kind of way clear of anyone else. But yeah, how do you think? Because I know at the start of the season you were a little bit like, oh, City won't. And then it looked like we would. How are you feeling now? Are you still feeling like City have a chance, or?
This season is just crazy. Like, my prediction has just changed times already.
Yeah.
I think we're even like halfway through the season, and I've had like 3 teams that I think could win it. Obviously, at the start, because of the way that we started, I wasn't sure if we would have to win it, because we weren't scoring goals. And it's good being like defending well, but you need to be able to score goals as well. But like I said, I think since the Southampton game, I've seen like a different City. Like, I've seen that we can actually, you know, not only defend well, but we can get like goals that we need in order to win the matches. It's crazy because that Liverpool game against Burnley has made me think that Liverpool don't have enough. I think Liverpool desperately need a defender. If they don't get a defender this January transfer window, I don't see it. I don't see them, you know, winning the league. And then obviously between City and United, I think you said it before, you just trust Pep a little bit more than Ollie to get that home. So I feel like City might win it, you know, especially with obviously Liverpool struggling defensively. I think City has a chance. But obviously with De Bruyne out, we're going to see how we're going to cope, you know, in the next few fixtures. But yeah, like, I think in a couple of weeks I'll have more of an idea of like if we're going to be or not. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think we've got a few sort of easier on paper games until we play sort of Liverpool, Spurs. So if we're still where we are now, or even better, by the time we play kind of Liverpool and Spurs, then we'll just have to see how we do in these games. I think in terms of Liverpool, because Van Dijk's out, they're having to play Fabinho as a defender, who is their most creative midfielder, or one of the things in their midfield that makes it tick. So because he's not in there, it takes a lot out. It's kind of like us last season when we had to play Fernandinho in defence. Even though Fernandinho is not an attacking midfielder, he makes a lot of them passes that then go to De Bruyne, or, you know, them sort of passes. And we saw the difference with City. We didn't create as much. Obviously, De Bruyne had to play deeper. There was games where De Bruyne is sat, you know, just ahead of the defence, and I'm thinking it's so deep. So I think Liverpool are having the same sort of problems that we were having last season, which is interesting because I actually said that if Liverpool got injuries, I said this a few seasons ago, because I said they've got a fantastic squad, but they don't have squad depth. So, you know, if some of their key players go out, they will struggle. And that's why I said that I didn't think they would win the league, but they managed to stay fit the whole season. It was actually us that got the injuries. And it was us that struggled, because even though we have a bigger team in terms of we have options on the bench, when you've got to play your key players out of position, you do struggle a bit because the team doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. And I think that's what Liverpool are kind of struggling with. I didn't think they'd go back to back, because I know going back to back is really difficult. Obviously, they'd be up there. I still think they will. I think Liverpool, even though they look a little bit lost right now, one little comeback to boost the squad, like a Jota coming back, you know, or even, you know, a defensive player. I don't know if they get someone in or something like that. I can see them coming back a little bit. I can see them fighting. This season's a bit of an odd one. So it's not like City are going to go and win every single game. I don't think United are going to go and win every single game. So Liverpool, I think, will still be there and thereabouts. Whether they can win it, I don't know. I think if they're up there with, say it's them and Ollie, say City fall off a little bit and it's them and Ollie, I think Klopp will be able to maybe push them over the edge and win them the league. But yeah, I think it's going to be difficult. I think Man United, someone said they were in a false position. Which I don't think is fair because they're there because they're winning the games that they need to win. You kind of see it almost like champions, the sign of champions with them a little bit because they're winning games that they have no right to win. They're winning games after the game's finished, like it's mad. So I can see them being up there till the end. I don't think they're going to fall off too much. But at the same time, it's kind of like so far with Man United, they kind of get so far that you think they're going to go places and then they kind of fall off. So I'm yet to be my mind to be changed about that. The Champions League, we saw it, the semi-finals, we've seen it. So I don't know if they're going to get to the final couple of games and be able to win them games because sometimes in the bigger games, they've been kind of settling for a draw and stuff like that, or not going out with any intention of winning it. And I think every game in the last sort of 10 games in a title race, or maybe even more, are big, big, big games. So you can't afford to lose. You have to win. City have done it. We've won 14 games in a row to win the league. I think Liverpool won like most of theirs. I think they won all of theirs as well, or like a ridiculous amount of games in a row. To match us basically until the end. So, yeah, I don't know if Man United have got that in them yet, but obviously we'll have to see. It's a long season. We'll get to some of the comments now. Just bear with me. Get some of the comments. So, Comrade, big up to him. He's not hating today. Finally. He says, big up Jan and Rose. I think we should sign a centre-back. We are really short. The City goal should have been disallowed. Okay, in terms of that, the actual rules state that if a player is in an offside position, but the defender, if an attacking player is in an offside position, but the defender controls the ball, that player is then not offside or something like that. But it's actually in the rule book, so it shouldn't have been disallowed. He was right. People say that he tackled him, but he lost control of the ball, and that's how he managed to get it. So at first, when I saw it, I thought maybe. But if you think about it, it's not one of them where he's tackled him and someone's, say he kicks it into Bernardo and Bernardo shoots. Like, there was quite a lot after that goal. They didn't call it offside. So because of that, it would have been a little bit unfair to kind of bring it back for sort of phases and then say, City rule it out, especially when that's what the rules are. And that's one of the only rules that's not changed. Because my dad always told me when I was a kid, can't be offside if it comes off a defender. That's one of the first rules that I learnt in football. If it comes off a defender, it can't be offside. So I just don't understand why people who claim that they know about football don't know one of the oldest rules in the book. I think it's strange, especially when you've got professional footballers who are employed to do that job, not knowing the rules. Like, it's not one of them where it's changed. Like, the handball rule has changed. So I understand people saying, I don't really get the handball rule. People were complaining about the penalty as well, which is another strange one, because they were saying it wasn't on target. Since when has a handball had to be on target? I've seen City players fall on the floor with their hands by their side. It's rolled over their hand and they've got a handball. Like, that wasn't intentional. It wasn't on target, but they've given it. So handball, I understand when people get a bit confused about that, because even I don't know what the handball rule is. Yeah. But yeah, that one is one of the oldest rules in the book. So I don't really get everyone's outrage with that. Comrade says, whoever gets Jack Grealish could win the league. What a player. He is hopeful. It's United. I can't see Grealish moving. And if he does move, I can't see him moving in England. What do you think, Rose? Because I think he'll be so much money. I just don't know.
Do you think he'll go abroad? I actually think he'll stay in the league if he did move.
Yeah, I just think because of the price, I don't know if City would buy him. So it would be Man United if he does go.
Yeah,
it would.
I can see him playing.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, what he is. I mean, he was one of the few players that were just causing us so many problems.
Yeah.
He's just such a special player. Just like Phil Foden as well. I think England have some really good special players. So yeah.
Yeah, they're so creative because when I was growing up, England were quite a boring side. It was just a bit monotone, just a bit boring. But I think now some of these young players are just unreal. Even Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's great. There's such good players in that squad. And together, it'd be interesting to kind of see them play together because I know England kind of play their squad, but there's a lot of the old guys in there. So it'd be interesting to see sort of the next generation and see how they fare when they play together because, we have some really exciting English talent, so we'll see what happens. Conrad says, Jan and Rose, Pogba is our best midfielder. I like Bruno, but Pogba's been really good for us. This is what I've been saying all season, Conrad. When you've been saying he's better than De Bruyne, I'm saying he's not even your better midfielder, your best midfielder. Pogba, for me, is much better, but he plays more defensively. If you swap them around, I don't think Bruno has that much impact in the game. I really don't. And I think Pogba goes out and gets probably the same amount of assists and goals as him. Yeah. So, I think definitely is the better one of the two. I'm not saying Bruno's not good. I know people always think I'm slating him. Just because you're coming for De Bruyne, I've got to defend my man, innit? So it is what it is. Ads, big up to ads.
Sorry.
Go on.
Another point. If you remember that Leipzig match, I think you 2-0 down. Bruno Fernandes was on. The match changed when Pogba came on. I'm not even joking. So completely agree with you about the Pogba situation. Yeah, he's better.
And how many match winners has he got as well? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying Bruno hasn't assisted them, but some of Bruno's assists are literally a pass in the midfield, and Pogba does some madness, and he gets an assist, and it's that's not an assist. Pogba did everything, or Rashford did everything. So I'm not kind of disrespecting him or anything, but at the same time, I just think, could Bruno do what Pogba does? Probably not. Could Pogba do what Bruno does? I think so. So that's my thing. Ads set. Big up to ads. Make sure to go and subscribe to his channel, GNA TV. Says big up the pair of you. Keep on the grind. Big up to you too. Will says hello everyone. Big up Will. T Clip says the title race is perfect for Man United. De Bruyne injured, Vardy out injured too. Do you know what I think? This season is a strange one, and there's been 2 seasons that I can think of in my mind that were strange like this. First one, 2014. At this point in the season, actually, after 22 games, Arsenal were top of the league. I think, let me see who was second. Let me work this out because I seen it the other day because I was thinking this season for me, I think benefits City because history will tell you that in these sorts of seasons, City do quite well. So the first one, I think, was the season where, the season that we won the league. It was in 2014, I think it was. Arsenal were top after 22 games with 51 points. Man City was second after 22 games with 50 points. Chelsea were third after 22 games with 49 points. And Liverpool were fourth with 23 points. Sorry, after 22 games with 43 points. I remember in that February of that year, so probably, because I know the season starts a little bit earlier, so February you're probably looking at sort of 25 games or something like that. I remember Chelsea fans were top and they were telling me that they were going to win the league, and it was a Chelsea against Liverpool title race for a bit. and then City just came out of nowhere. Obviously, we were there and about, but we kind of came forward and we ended up winning that league. But it was a title race with Liverpool. Chelsea weren't in it. Arsenal weren't in it. So these sorts of seasons, I think the team that's on top, they're not always the team that win. And there's another season, 2016, where Leicester won the league. Arsenal again, top after 22 games. So I'm not saying Man United have no chance, but it's interesting because seasons that are like this, the team that are at the top sort of partway through the season aren't actually the team that are in the title race. So we'll see. I think United will stay there and about, so I can't see them slipping all the way down. But yeah, it'd be interesting because Leicester, in their season where Leicester won it, Leicester was second. So, you know, we'll have to see what happens. But I think this sort of title benefits City more. I think a title race, if Man United were to win it, I think Man United would need to be clear top. And just the chances that they've had to go clear, like when they played Liverpool, when they played City, these chances where they've had times to kind of get a bit of a lead on us, they haven't done that. We'll have to see. Obviously, De Bruyne is out now. That's going to affect us. So we'll have to see. But I feel like this sort of season would benefit Man City more than other teams. What do you think, Rose?
Funny, I think I was talking to a few United players. No, not players, sorry. And no, they're trying to score loads of goals. Like they want their team to score loads of goals this season because they think that it might, you know, be decided on goal difference. Sounds ridiculous. But like every time they see the goal, like they're getting frustrated because they think it's going to. So I just find quite funny that, you know, they don't think they're going to be clear winners. They think it's going to be like, you know, decided on the last day of the season. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. That's the thing. It might be one of them games where it is like that. That's why I'm hoping that we can kind of just sort of win every game. You know, we've been on a good run. I think we've got 6 out of 6 wins in the last, obviously 6, and we've won the last 9, I think it is, or something like that. So I don't know if that's in all competitions, but we need to kind of keep on that sort of uphill climb. And I think as long as we're kind of getting the points that we need, I'm not worried about Man United right now. I'm worried about City winning their game. When it comes to the end of the season and there's sort of 10 games to go, then I'll start looking at who's around us and whatever. Like, for me, being top of the league is not a priority because us being top puts pressure on us. So I'm quite happy being where we are, 2 points behind with a game in hand. That works for me. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we keep picking up points. Hopefully Man United drop some points. That will help. But yeah, their next game is a easy win. I can't see Sheffield United giving Man United any problems. So they'll win that. So City just need to make sure we beat West Brom, and hopefully we'll win the 2 games after that. And then I think after that is Liverpool, or Spurs, whoever it is. So yeah, it's going to be difficult, but as long as we don't lose, I think it's about time we won at Anfield. It's been 18 years, so we need to win at some time. I think this season, being as strange as it is, I'm hoping that because it's strange, we can win at Anfield. You know, it's amazing that Burnley have won there more recently than City. You know, it's crazy. So if Burnley can win there, City probably still can't, but you know, is what it is. I think without De Bruyne, our chances are a lot good. But there's something about Anfield though, because that game where Mahrez missed that penalty, we should have won that game. There's no way that should have been a draw. Like, there's just no way. So I just think it's like a curse. We need to get out of that Anfield curse. So we'll see what happens. Conrad says, Jan and Rose, Gladbach are a really good team. They're tough to beat. They came from 2-0 down to win 3-2 and also beat Dortmund 4-2 yesterday. Man City have played Gladbach before. We know how difficult. The thing is, the people that say that they're difficult are also the people that say City get easy draws in the Champions League. Like, we got Atalanta. Everyone was saying they're easy. They went and beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
These draws that we get, Shakhtar Donetsk, another one, everyone was saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. They beat Real Madrid home and away. Like, the draws that we get are not actually easy draws. A lot of the teams that we played are decent sides. They wouldn't be in the Champions League if they weren't, let's be honest. So, yeah, I think and we know, luckily City have played Gladbach. We kind of know what to expect a little bit. They have got better, I'd say, recently as well. But yeah, it's one of them. Hopefully we can keep it tight at the back and, take our chances when they come, because it's not going to be easy. Our first leg, I don't think we're going to have De Bruyne. So I think I'd take probably a 0-0 and then get De Bruyne back for the second one and go for it, because, yeah, it's not going to be easy for us. What do you think, Rose?
Yeah, no, they've improved so much. The thing about Champions League matches is they're never easy. So no, I'm just getting flashbacks of the league again. I don't know. Honestly, I just hope we can just get through to the next round. Honestly, but it's going to be tough for us. Once we get through. Yeah,
I think it's interesting because this season, the way we've set up is kind of more Champions League, sort of like it's better in the Champions League, because like the first start of the season we were struggling in the league, but in the Champions League we were flying. So I'm hoping that the tactical changes that Pep's made are going to pay off. Like, I'm hoping. Obviously Diaz don't like conceding shots, never mind goals. So, Diaz is like some magician at the back. I'm hoping he obviously is the same in the Champions League. I think we do need to get Aguero back at least for that sort of game. We need someone that can have half a chance and score, which a lot of our players can't really do that. Torres has been shining in the Champions League. Foden does well in the Champions League. So, yeah, I'm hoping to kind of see us get through. I'm not really bothered about it being pretty anymore. We just need to get through. I don't care if it's an offside goal in the 90th minute. I don't care. We need to get through, and then hopefully. Do you know what? I don't even mind too much if we get an easy draw or not, because I think sometimes with City, they play better against the bigger sides. Like that Barcelona game, we were amazing in that game. We've had other games against Lyon where we're not that great. So I don't think it particularly needs to be an easy draw. We just need something that we can kind of step up. We've seen it against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Step up in the big games, and I think it'd be nice for us to kind of at least get to the semis this season. I think we need to go past that quarters stage. I don't think we'll win it the first time. I don't think we'll go to the final and win. So I think we need to kind of take it a bit step by step. But yeah, it'd be a dream to win it this season. It'd be nice for De Bruyne to win it. It'd be nice for Aguero to win it. It'd be nice for Fernandinho to win it. So, but yeah, we're a long way away from there. So we'll just see what happens. 187 Gangster Crit says, big up to the GyalDem. Big up to you. Big Taze, my co-host. We've got a show tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock on End to Ends. So make sure to check that out. Till Jane says, Yannika's fault. I know my internet is somebody cut a wire and then my internet went off for like a week. So I was using my phone data and then the internet came back on, and then today it's just messing up. So I don't know what's going on. Ad says, should be a win for City. Just grab a simple 2 or 3-0. This is against Cheltenham. Big Tay says, City 4, Cheltenham 0. Don't know. Gangster Crit says, Yang, you have your own merch. Not really. I just have a t-shirt with my name on it, innit? Till Jane says, you guys doing a great job so far. Much love and support from Senegal. Big up to you. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Senegal. I love that. Big Tay says, West Brom will try park the bus, but if City score early, they will crumble. I think last time we were struggling to score. So if we play how we've been playing, I think, we'll be fine. Till Jane says, any team in the league except Liverpool will always play defensively, in my opinion. That's why players at a certain point will feel frustrated. True. But this is the thing, like against Villa, I thought City didn't look like they were going to score. And then De Bruyne went off and I thought, we're going to crumble a bit. And it was nice to see Bernardo step up. It was nice to see that, and do what he does best. So I feel like at the moment, City are just kind of pushing through games that, like you say, last season we wouldn't have won, or we would have. I think even earlier in the season we would have taken a draw in some of these games that we're just not doing now. So it's kind of nice to see.
Yeah, because we're not reliant on just one player or two players. We're just playing. So we're just consistently just playing well together.
Yeah. And I think as well, it doesn't really matter who starts. They play well as a team and they always play the same way. So I'm quite happy with City right now. Obviously, we're going to have to see how they do, because obviously last time De Bruyne was out, Sterling was at his best, which he's not been this season. Obviously, he scored that fantastic free kick. But, he's not at his best. Mahrez, not really been on any sort of form. He comes in and scores a hat-trick and then the next game does nothing. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. Rodri did play well against Villa. I've always said Rodri does kind of what it says on the tin. I don't think he's a bad player at all, but, he was excellent in that Villa game. So we'll see. Foden was giving everyone Sane vibes.
Yeah.
So, that's what we want to see. It's funny because people were talking about Foden not getting any minutes, and now he's starting every game. So it's funny how it works. Ads says Brighton and Fulham play good football, but only sometimes win. True. I actually like both of them teams. And you know what? You have to big up Brighton because they came and played proper football against City. They could have come and parked the bus. They could have, but they didn't. They came and played football. It's end to end. And, you have to respect them. I hope they stay up for their sake. Also, Brighton away is a nice stadium to go to. So, I hope they stay up. Big Tay says, I support Spurs. We are part of the Bus FC. That's true. Brit catch them on the counter. Till James says, fortunately, we got the right man in the right place. I think this is about City. Mourinho's type playing. He says, Aguero really needs to come back. This has become ridiculous. I know it's one thing after the other with him. Ryan, big up to Ryan, says, big up Jan and Rose. He said, I'm looking forward to Europa League football next season. You're not going to get that, honestly. You're actually reactionary, Ryan. You're not that bad. You know what it is? Everyone this season is not really informed. And it's so funny because I keep saying everyone's reactionary because, you lose one game and everyone's like, that's it, title over. And it's you're 2 points behind the people at the top. It's not one draw and you're back in it. It's just, this season is so strange. Even if we lose to West Brom, I wouldn't be thinking our City have got no chance. Yeah. Because it's we'd then be, 5 points behind Man United with a game in hand. So what if we beat them? That's completely irrelevant. So it's not even close to sort of where you need to panic yet. Obviously, if Liverpool go and lose the next few games and then lose to City, you might be in a different position. But right now, if you beat Man City, you're back up there. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Manny says, yes, ladies, big up to Manny. When am I featuring on this show? You're an op, so you're not featuring on this show. Ryan says, defensive isn't the issue for us at the moment. We can't score goals. It's the creativity in the midfield, I think. Plus, you've got your best mate, Salah, going up forward. Till James says, this season winner will be no joke. So for sure, I think he means. It's going to be any team above City will win the Premier League. I agree. I think at worst we'll finish second. I've said that all season. I was actually looking at my pre-season review that I did on Neek Sports, I think it was, or the Football Dugout, might be the Football Dugout. And I was actually saying if we sign a centre-back, we'll win the league, and if we don't, we'll finish second. That's what I was saying at the start of the season. So I still kind of agree with that. I feel like Diaz, obviously, who it was, I thought Koulibaly it might have been in the beginning, but obviously with Diaz, I feel like we can win the league with Diaz because, you know, they do say defenses win your titles. They also say you need to score goals. City normally score a lot of goals. This season, not so many, but we're kind of getting back to our best attacking wise. So defensively, we've obviously improved. And I think, like you said earlier, the games that we might not have won last season, we're winning, or we're winning 1-0, which we've not been able to do for a while. So I think if we can keep our defensive unit strong, the goals will come. And, you know, as long as we don't draw too many, I think we'll be all right. I think the problem with Liverpool is the same thing. They're not actually conceding too many goals, but it's just they're not scoring. So once their kind of players get their scoring boots back on, I think they'll be all right. I can't see. Amir says, you may be tipped to win it. Individual brilliance may separate United from City in clutch moments. We've both got individual brilliance, though. So I don't think, even though Man United are individual brilliance FC or whatever you want to call yourselves, City still have individual brilliance in our squad. So I don't think that'll make too much of a difference. 1 second. Comrade says, Ryan, Salah to send you to the Champions League. You know what? He'll probably go and like win you a trophy now, and you'll have to eat your words. Mankstan said, now Pep sorted the defence out. We are going to be favourites. We know we had the firepower. Yeah, I think it's not like City are not scoring. They're just not as clinical as we normally are. So I'd expect us to get back to being more clinical as the season goes on. He says, Till Jane says, we got a deeper squad than Liverpool. Yeah. Ryan says, Jota is still out for a few weeks, so we still have to play Tom, Dick and Harry up front for the time. I love Ryan. He's so funny. Manster, big up to Manster, says, big up Rose and Jan. Till James says, still replacing De Bruyne will not be easy, but we can still sort it out. We already did in the past. Yeah, we've been without him before. Flawless, big up to Flawless, says, big up to the two queens, Jan City and Rose. Big up to you. Deluded Talk said, the rule was applied correctly, unfortunately. I think that's about the goal that we scored. Stop talking about 16-17. That's the City before Trunk Corona or a pot smoke popping. Yeah, but the Man United that used to win the league were the Man United before this, so we'll see. The goal was absolutely legal. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Man City have had more nonsense than European titles. So have Man United, to be fair. City will win FA Cup this season at best. Yeah, that would be a terrible season for us, but that would be a good season for you. That's the difference. Mankstan said, if Salah or Mane had done the same, it wouldn't even be in question for offside. True that. Someone said, actually, if that's a different player, they're talking about the intelligence of him to know the rules. Because it's City, it's like, oh, you know, he was trying to rob the referee, like VAR, all this crap. It's like, at the end of the day, VAR love ruling out goals. They're not going to keep a goal that is borderline unless it benefits them, and it didn't benefit them to give City a goal. Like 016 Val says, do they even have a striker?
Who is this?
About us. We do. Deluded Talk said they're putting more shit pundits on TV. That's why. I just don't understand how you can employ people that don't know the football rules. Like, how can I know the football rules, but they don't? Like, that makes no sense to me. Ryan says De Bruyne needs to look up to Super Jack. Oh. Super Jack is the best player in the Premier League at the moment. Deluded Talks, I'm here for Ryan's comments. It's Salah. It's got to be Salah. You know, I was told a few seasons ago that Salah's the best player in the league, isn't it? So it's got to be him. Gangster Crit. Big up to him for helping out. 016 Val says, English media treat Pep like an Englishman and Rashford, Grealish and Greenwood like North Koreans. No. I think with Pep, they tried to disrespect Pep too many times, but he doesn't have it from him anymore. Like when he first came, you know, they were saying he needs to win this, he needs to win that, his football won't work in this country, blah, blah, blah. And they had to eat their words. So that's why it's ended the way it has, because, you know, they can't really, what can they say about Pep? He's done everything that they said he couldn't do. You know, apart from the Champions League, which isn't English football, they've not really got anything to say. So, you know, and even if the Champions League, like, you can't expect him to win it this quick anyway. They'd have to give him at least 5 years before they start running their mouth. So we'll see if he does it. I don't know whether he will, but we'll see. Till Jane says, don't worry, City will get a good envelope during the summer transfer window. I hope so. We need a striker.
Really do.
What I would do to have Grealish at Liverpool, you need to go and drive Salah to Aston Villa and ask if you can swap, because I'm sure they'd probably do that. A world-class striker will be needed. Haaland should be our main target. He should. I don't know whether he'll come now, but he should be. Gangster said we're eating good at the top. Yeah, just warm it up for us. We'll come in May. He said, Delude Talk says, guys, is it a strange season or did City and Liverpool just do a madness? I think it's a strange season, even though we were great the past, 3 years? Liverpool were good last year and then we were good the 2 seasons before. But yeah, I just think it's one of them 2014-16 seasons. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I agree with this. Abdullah says it will be the most embarrassing season for all top managers, especially Klopp and Pep to lose out to Ali. I agree with that. 016 Val doesn't watch City. He says De Bruyne is overhyped and has no marketing value. He's your Messi next contract going to be an oily million. Nah, he's actually a humble person. He ain't going to do none of that. But he will get the contract that he deserves. History will also tell you that a year that ends with one Spurs something don't mean we will. Yeah, but that's like in ancient times, man. My mum wasn't even alive. I'm done with this season. Just want it to end. Nah, this season's an exciting one for a neutral. Not really for the people in the title race, but yeah. I'm not seeing Spurs winning this year, but anything can happen. It's true, anything can happen. They're as likely to win it as United. There's still many twists and turns this season. A run of wins up for any team near the top will put them in the title race. True that. Manchester is not red. There is no red team in Manchester. Deluded Talk. I don't want an Aguero moment again. My mental health won't be able to handle it. Me too. I can't deal with that. Ryan says we need to evolve our team in the summer, get the frauds out and replace them with proper players. You won't get rid of Salah, I can tell you that. Manny says, Jan, understand this. United, we're in the bottom half of the table. We shouldn't be in the conversation at all. We are now here. All we have to do is keep going. If we win it, biggest in win Premier League. Do you know what? The squad that Man United have should be in a title race. The only reason why we're saying you shouldn't be in the conversation is because of Ali. And let's be honest, managers have won teams like Leicester titles. Leicester didn't have the team that Man United do. Man United have a very expensive, star-studded squad. So as much as you're pretending that you shouldn't be in the conversation, realistically, with that squad, you should be. I don't know if you'll win it, but your squad on paper is one of the best in the league. It's probably one or two. I'd say City's are better, maybe. But even then, with some of the injuries that we've got, is it? So I think you should be up there. And that's why I think you could win it, but I don't know. Talking about a City title is like talking about Santa. Lies. They've had a worse season than United and Liverpool, and the squad have never been balanced yet. English media markets them in such a way. How have we had a worse season than you when we're 2 points behind with a game in hand? We haven't had a worse season than United. We've lost less games, so we haven't had a worse season. You're just on top because you played an extra game. That's the only reason why. Abdullah says, Gundo or De Bruyne on pens from now on, no one else. Really? I actually said it should be Gundogan. He's German. He doesn't miss. I think he's missed one in his whole career. It's got to be him. Dude Talk said we had to make a comeback against Sheffield last time. Yeah, but United will just win. They're fluky like that. Any team with discipline can beat City. Any team that's any good can beat United, but they just don't. RB, subscribe if you're new. We're nearly at 2K. Yep, do that. Abdel says we have the best defense with Stones and Diaz. They've proven that. People are just hating. I want to like wrap up now. Okay, there's like loads more comments, so let me not get to them. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week at the same time, 11:30. So make sure to tune in. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 2K. We'll see you next week.